Yeah, that is profound.
That is profound.
You are. You really are. Like, I'm learning a lot and I'm enjoying this. And what do you think, like, what is something about content creators that viewers don't get?
What you're viewing, that's our office. Like, you see me doing a video, sijaifanya. Yes, I'm doing it for your entertainment, but at the end of the day, that video is bringing views, is bringing interaction. So meaning a possible client is watching. Na hiyo ndio anaona bedhe umse akona numbers, so that's why they will work for me. So yeah, that's our work, that's our office. I think that's something people don't know. On the internet, if someone is not saying you're doing too much, then
this person who is struggling with quality and quantity. Kuna those people who they want their first content to be perfect. And for some reason, it's really, I know people who it's really holding them back. But like, it's evident it's holding them back, but they really don't know why. Can you just unravel that approach?
Do you think every content should be perfect?
Not really.
Do you believe in quantity?
I believe in quantity.
You believe in quantity.
Yeah.
So quantity comes in from a point where you've been consistent with the work. So there's something to show that you're actually working
on.
We are our biggest critics.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so just post it.
Just go, okay.
And utapatia kitu watu uko unataka kupost ndio itaenda viral. Unaona? Because I remember my ever first video to hit 1 million and above, ilikuwa video hata sikuwa nataka kupost.
It was on Instagram.
It was on TikTok.
On TikTok.
The easiest way to make it as a creator is packaging yourself. Packaging and aligning yourself. Let's give examples. I'm a fashion creator, I'm a tech creator, or a podcaster. I'll follow any podcast. Mimi si follow any tech creator, si follow any fashion creator. I'm not getting insights. That means we're both not getting insights in our niches. How do what's working in our niches? You're not interacting with other podcasters. Nikwambie, the podcast, like event podcast yako ilikuwa noma. So they don't notice you. The big podcasts don't notice you. Maybe I'm not interacting with big tech creators. I'm not interacting with big fashion creators. So they never notice me. So even if they have a gig, if your people have a gig, hawezi hata extend to you as support.
I warmly invite you to subscribe to our podcast, YouTube podcast, Modern Day Campfire, where we advocate for mental health through a powerful lens of visual arts and meaningful conversation. This platform is a safe space for reflection, expression, and healing. Created with care and authenticity, your support not only spreads the awareness, but also strengthens a growing community that values compassion, creativity, and open dialogue. Join us today in this journey. You are welcome here. Thank you. Okay. Hello, wonderful humans. Welcome to Modern Day Campfire. And today we have a very magnificent guest with us who goes by the name Brian Magati. Welcome again, Brian Magati. Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't know Brian though.
Oh, same here. When you say Brian while we were talking, oh, this is the English name of his.
Because a lot of people, I tell people called Brian, they're like, no way. But now a lot of people know Magati. But yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah. And thank you again. And man, you're doing great work out there. Yeah. And I believe you're motivating many people.
Yeah.
And please never stop. Never stop what you're doing.
On it, but that's what brings bread to the table. So I don't have an option. I can't stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. And maybe kuna someone maybe anakuona for the first time today, and just out of curiosity, who is Magati?
Who's Magati? Magati is a creative artist. He's a digital creator. He's an Instagram-based influencer who does tech, lifestyle, and fashion content. He's a visual artist. He creates videos. He's a videographer. He's an editor. He's recently a CEO. I launched my creative agency. It's called MGT CREATIVES. You can check it out on all the different platforms. And what we basically do is create engaging content for creatives and put it out on social platforms. But for my own personal brand, I am a tech creator, fashion creator, I am an influencer, and I am a videographer and an editor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is quite a title. That is quite a title. That is dope. Yeah. And maybe what do you think people normally get wrong about you?
You know, you've asked me this question before, and I think I answered it wrongly. I think what people get wrong about me is that I am egocentric na niko na kiburi. I don't know, and it's a lot of people wenye nimepatana nao, and I think wenye tumepatana nao in passive, but I think it's because I'm very loud, I'm very vocal, and I tend to speak my thoughts into action. So, and then after we spend time with people, and then they were like, kumbe hata ni kisirani tu nakuanga nayo. So I think they misinterpret the kisirani bit with kiburi. Kisirani now nakubali that I have in plenty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for today we are going to talk about the silent struggles of content creators, and I believe there is a viewer or an audience, a viewer who is joining us maybe at the moment. What will you want to promise them? Maybe if they stay, they will get by the end of this conversation.
Man, I think I'd want to tell them to wait till the end to know. But what you'll definitely get, I think, is insights into the creative industry from someone who's been there and has experienced both, I think, the good and the bad. So how to make your content go viral, how to get the perfect videos for yourself, and how to market yourself and package yourself for all the different platforms. Yes.
Yeah. And what is content creation to you?
Content creation to me is an art. An art. Okay. I don't see it as going on social platforms and just shooting a video and just posting it. For me, I check on every aspect, from pre-production to posting and everything. So to me, it's an art that I really respect. So I don't really like people who don't respect my art and my friends' art, because most of my friends are also creators. So for me, it's an art. If I was going to put it in one word.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and that is the best definition of it. Yeah. And like, if you were to come up with the number one rule for each content creator, the rule that should be, what do you stick with? Like, what is that one constant law when do you normally apply to content creation?
Boss, niko na maswali ngumu. Unajua unasema law, I thought I was in a physics class. Unajua first law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics.
Okay.
A law I give people in terms of content creation. I think it's consistent motion.
Consistent motion.
Yeah, in terms of consistency, because I think that's the first thing you're ever being told when you're starting out in content. Be consistent, so I think that's a law that is there, and I think it's one that I tell people to stick with, because if you're not consistent, it won't pay off. Yeah, so that I think is the one law I can put into every practice.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I won't stop saying this. You really have a good content.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Yeah.
So what do you what is the first thing you normally do when you sit down to create a content?
What's the first thing I do?
Yeah.
I think watch Instagram or TikTok.
Or for the inspo or something?
Yeah, for the inspo. Because 90% of my work, and I want to believe also 90% of your work, is watching what other creators are doing. Because especially the big creators who've already quote unquote made it or are doing better than you, because they won't be doing what they're doing if it's not working. So the first thing I do is just go on TikTok, on Instagram, and scroll, and not scrolling really for entertainment. And I came to realize this from even a friend of mine. My friend is called Wanyo. He's a very big creator. He just actually held his first ever live event, a cooking event. We were there during Labor Day. A big cooking influencer. Na yeye ndiye atanifanya ni realize kitu. The fact that I do not consume content for entertainment. I consume it from a point where how can I make this work for me? So if umeona mtu amefanya a skit, like, you know, these funny skits Kenya creators like kina Mwirigi do and kina Mamito and everything like that. So you don't watch them from a point of, hey, kitu ni kali, it's funny. You're like, mi naweza fanya je kitu kama hii, but now in my field tuseme kama tech and fashion, so Kenya amefanya but in terms of tech and fashion. So I think the first thing I do before I create anything, and I don't do it intentionally, I came to realize it's very subconscious, is just scroll on TikTok looking for TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube looking for ideas, and the ideas just come to me.
Yeah. And do you have like maybe this one person you look up to?
In different fields.
In different fields.
So I kila mtu anakuanga na mtu mwenye ana look up to.
Okay, for tech, for fashion, and maybe because pia you shoot comedy, you shoot comedy, and pia for comedy. Yeah.
You actually need juicy. I've actually just started it out. It's something that I've started out, and it's really working. So people I look up to. Let's start with tech.
Okay.
With tech,
and basically, what do you do in tech before you tell us your person?
What I do in tech. So I do tech reviews, unboxings, those type of videos. So mostly it's in regards to phones. So companies send me phones, and then I review them. I give you guys opinions about the phone, so that when you go to buy a phone, you actually know what you're using. C2 simu iko na camera peke yake. There are more things than that, and also give tech insights and tips and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. So your role model.
My role models. So I'll say globally, in terms of tech. Let's start with tech. Globally, I'd say someone like Mr. Who's the Boss, MKBHD, those two, because they do crazy work. I know you say I do good content, and then now for me, I see those guys producing. I'm like, Jesus Christ, because it's not even about leave alone gear. Because those guys work on studios, kubwa, they shoot like with 6 cameras, but you are finished with. What I look up to them in regard to is how, one, they do their videos, how they talk in their videos, how interesting they make their videos. Because at the end of the day, you're doing a podcast, someone else is doing a podcast, another person is doing a podcast, but how you're doing it so differently that mtu hataki kwenda kuwatch your podcast ingine, anataka kuwatch yako. So napata msee go through the effort of kama hii simu iko indestructible, watu wengine ameona wanapitisha gari juu ya hii simu, yeye anatafuta trailer. You get like something so fascinating. Unaona ameandika hapo hivyo title ya YouTube video yake, I passed a trailer over my phone. Hey, I have to watch this. Yeah. So I think in terms of their ideas, locally, by local I mean within the country, people that I can reach out to. And one thing I'm blessed with is I have already interacted with these people, and we interact on a day-to-day with people like Roy Kanye, Jess holds a tech podcast. So those are people I look up to in regards to the type of content they produce. Now over to fashion. I think globally there's a young man. I think he's European. His name is Brandon Balpafor, something of the sort. I can't really get his name straight, but I really consume a lot of his content. He makes really aesthetic videos. In Kenya, is actually one of my friends. Again, his name is Victor. Yeah, I used to find him on the internet. I'm like, yo, why me? I want to be like this guy. And then we met. Now he also does tech content. And then we met. Now we're friends. I'm even planning to do a collaboration with him in the next month or two. Pesa ikiingia, we do a collaborative video in terms of fashion. So yeah, I think those are the people I look up to. And then now for skits, I don't think there's people I look up to. I just find a random skits and then I'll just recreate them.
And like I know many content creators are struggling with maybe coming up with a sustainable content. For you, as it's always fresh. So like, what is the secret? The fact that it is just always fresh. I know maybe you consuming and knowing how to consume is really playing a role. Yeah, what else could you think might be playing a role
in creating fresh content? I don't think, first of all, I don't think you can ever create fresh content. Whatever you will create has already been created. Even this topic we're talking about today, just go and search on the internet. You'll just find struggles in content creation. So it's in regards to how creative can you be with it, I think. But also now, there's sometimes that ideas pop in your head. Say, for example, what if I shoot this fashion video on a bridge that goes over a river? See, go set up your camera, do something crazy. I think on the internet, if someone is not saying you're doing too much, then you're doing too little. Because how the internet is geared is people want something very entertaining or something very educational, something very mesmerizing. So if you're not blowing people's minds, you're not doing enough. So do it in a way that someone will look and they're like stunned. They watch one of your videos, they don't care if all your other videos are boring, but because you did this one good video, they're sticking to it. So it's just go above and beyond in everything that you're doing. Whether you're working with if it's a partnership, if you're working with a small brand, if you're working with a big brand, go out of your way to create something spectacular. And it will always be fresh.
Yeah. And yeah, that is dope. And from the way you look at it, the way you are looking at content creation at the moment, do you feel like there is hope in it? People can pursue it as a career, and what makes you think there is hope in?
Most definitely, kuna hope. Kuna hope. The cake is too big.
Okay.
The cake is too big. How I know it's. Let me start by answering the second question, which is how do I know that there is hope? Is in the space that I'm in, I've introduced a lot of people into that space. And still, in as much I've introduced people, I have never lacked ati sina client. And also for me, ni mtu aliniintroduce. No huyo mtu pia hajai lack. Actually now what happens is we get so overwhelmed with work, we look for other people to come and do them. Because now for me, I'm a creator in two ways. I am in front of the camera and I'm also behind the camera. So actually more work is behind the camera. Because that's also a content creator. Because yes, I'm a videographer, but sometimes the talent, which is the person who is in front of the camera, hana idea ya vile ata actualize hii kitu. Anakwambia, mimi nimepatiwa hii maji by the way, nafaa kuimarket. But sijui vile nita market maji. But mimi kwenye kamera najua, humse afanye tu hii ad hivi na hivi na hivi, ita sell. So I'm also creating that type of way. And in that type of way, you get so many gigs. Uko na clients kama 5, wote wanataka kushutiwa in the same day. So even have to call my friends and be boss, niko na hii kazi na hii na hii na nihitaji unisaidie manze kushoot. Juu zitafail. Actually we were going through the same problem hii wiki imepita. My friend had a big gig with a big company, was shooting 2 influencers back to back for an Easter campaign. Kazi ilimlemea. Ilibidi amenicall, amenitumia videos, nimeshoot but sija edit. Si unaweza edit haraka acha nitumie 2 nitakusukumia do. Called another friend of ours, boss, hii kazi imekuwa mingi, si nikusukumie? Atakamsukumia. Mimi by the time nakubali kazi, sikubali ati kwa maana nahitaji the money. It's because I know he's overwhelmed. Mimi pia niko overwhelmed, but I know acha nimsaidie kiasi. So see, the cake is too big. So it's definitely something that you can get into. It has money. It has money by the and then what was the first question?
The first question was, is there hope? And the second question was, why do you think there is hope?
I
feel you've answered all of it.
Yes.
Yeah, you've tackled it perfectly. Yeah. And you've given other people hope out there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure kuna someone who is maybe they're just interested in, and that's why they are here.
Yeah.
And they would also want. So how do they start?
How do you start?
How do they start?
As long as you have the interest, just start. And there's no secret to do this and this. Just open, because it's creativity. So creativity, the creative platform, content creation. Your shop is basically Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Open those platforms. Just start. See what other people are doing. Do that. If you already have a niche that you know you are strong at, say for example, music, start putting out your music. If you know yours is poetry, start putting out your poetry. See what other poets are doing. I think people might come at me for this, but I think content creation is one of the easiest things to do. Reason being, if you see someone who's been in the industry for long, and whatever they're doing is working for them, just replicate that in your own creative way. Because the internet has already accepted that as something that is working. So if you replicate it, but make it creative in your own creative way, it's bound at some point to work out. Creativity is not like, let's say for example, creating skits. It's not the same as singing. Because unaweza imba wimbo, ama umeandika wimbo, but your song is not good. But a skit, replicate the same thing. It's still funny. So as long as you have the personality to be funny, do that. If it's an outfit, say hii nguo, si naweza enda nishoneshe this same part I buy this same sweater, this same shirt, this same beanie and wear it. Wewe ukivaa si bado utaambia uko smart. Mimi pia si nimeambia niko smart. Same thing. It's so easy to replicate. So see what other people are doing and then also do the same but in your own creative way. Again, don't steal, create in your own creative way. Yeah.
And maybe my next question was, I was thinking of something when you were talking.
Yeah.
And this creation. So maybe kuna this person who is struggling with quality and quantity. Kuna those people who they want their first content to be perfect. And for some reason I know people who it's really holding them back. But it's evident it's holding them back, but they really don't know why. Can you just unravel that? Why do you think maybe it's not a must for it to be perfect for the first time? What is your approach?
Do you think every content should be perfect?
Not really.
Do you believe in quantity?
I believe in quantity.
You believe in quantity.
Yeah.
So quantity comes in from a point where you've been consistent with your work. So there's something to show that you're actually working
on.
But now when it comes to your quality of work, again, quality is something good. Because I think even most of my clients that have come for me to work for them or do videos for them or something like that sort, because and it's very consistent is buda mimi napenda quality yako. Una shooting na camera gani? Then I tell them most of the time I don't even shoot with the camera, I use a phone. But I make sure my settings are correct and stuff like that. And I think also starting out I was very very particular with the videos I'm posting. Nakwambia hata ni shoot hiyo video for the whole day. Nimeedit imenichosha but nipate makosa moja sitaipost. Because I'm like manze wase wataona hiyo kitu moja, wataona sikuwa nimefunga sijui button moja, wameona sani moja ilikuwa chafu, sijui dustbin ilikuwa hapo nikishoot video ya nyumba. And then I go to some point I posted one video and ilikuwa na makosa, nikasema acha ni post nione kama wata notice. Nobody noticed. And I'm like wait a minute, people don't even pay attention to some other things. Then hata utapata kitu yenye utapay attention to ni something completely different. You will post a video talking, mtu ata notice mtu alipita nyuma yako alikuwa amefanya kitu fulani. So unaona. So people don't, we are our biggest critics.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so just post it.
Yes, okay.
And utapatia kitu watu uko unataka kupost ndio itaenda viral. Unaona? Because I remember my ever first video to hit 1 million and above ilikuwa video hata sikuwa nataka kupost.
It was on Instagram.
It was on TikTok.
On TikTok.
Yeah, okay. It was a video for work. So I traveled to home in Nakuru.
When was this?
Last year.
Okay.
Last year, I think around August.
So after you've been in the game for a while?
For like 2 months.
For 2 months, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nilikuwa hit like 500k, 600k. So nimeenda Nakuru, sikuwa nimeshoot any video for work, but I remember kuna clips fulani nilikuwa nazo. It was for a phone tulikuwa tunaeka ndani ya maji kutest IP rating that kama inaweza zima tukiweka kwa maji. So I'm in the car traveling back to Nairobi and I'm like sija post video ya work leo. And I know our social media manager ataniuliza. So I was like basi niko na ile clip, si just unganisha them haraka and just post tu ndio nisiulizwe kama nimepost or not. Sit bet. Niko kwa gari Molo line, I'm heading back to Nairobi. I get into my phone, throw the videos on CapCut, put 1 and 2 clips together. Hata ukiona video ilishutiwa, it was very rugged. Iko ati nimescript, nimeshoot, nimeka tripod aje juu nini, nothing. Nika upload. Alafu nikazima tu simu kwa like hiyo video ni bora hata sitaki kuangalia. I get to Nairobi, mind you, I was on my way to Nairobi. Up even around I don't know, like now 2 hours later I'm in Nairobi. I decided to go on to TikTok, scroll heavy. On a video got like 300k views in about like an hour. Like yo, okay. I wake up in the morning, you got like 900k views. I'm like yo, okay. 2 hours later, 1 million, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. I'm like yo, nasikuwa nataka hata kupost video. Now I think from then on, squeezy, actually the video naona iko na mistakes, I'll still post it. Because now even you can leverage that for your account and for your platform. Because if people talk about the mistakes, it means they are talking. Talking means engagement. Engagement means interaction, and interactions means the platforms will ideally boost your video to be seen by other people.
True.
So it works to your advantage.
Yeah, that is a great way to look at it.
That's an amazing way to look at it.
And also maybe if you feel like maybe you've messed in this video, you can just try to avoid that mistake on the next video, but just push this one and
just post that video with that mess, see what people will talk about that mess. If they talk about it, do it again.
Okay.
Let me give you a funny example. I don't like using this example.
Okay.
So there's a set of videos I do. Nikki Teremka stairs. I think you've seen
I've seen them. I've seen them. Yeah.
So I shoot those videos from nakuanga na video. I shoot OOTD Monday to Sunday. Those are 7 days. Nakuanga na videos are 7 days, but I only post videos are 6 days. Monday to Saturday. Posting here Sunday.
Okay, so you get like
now if I'm shooting an OOTD, it means outfit of the day for 7 days.
For 7 days.
Yeah. But I don't post for 7 days.
For 7 days. You do for 6 days.
Monday to Saturday.
Okay.
The first time I ever posted that was called sikuwa nimeona video moja, but I was like, hii video inanibamba, I just want to post it. Then posted it. So watu wamecomment, napenda outfit ya Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday kwani ulikuwa ndeze? Kwani ulikuwa umevaa nguo? And then that comment got so many interactions, got so many likes and stuff, and people started like talking about it, laughing. Like, okay, that's funny because me, I don't take negative reviews vibaya. Second time, bado nikapost Monday to Saturday, interaction still. That video, same thing. Same thing, interaction still. So now that's what I do. I leverage it because now you get interactions. Yeah.
That is that is dope. That is dope. And where is this like? Where is the kuna? I believe, do you something like for editing and everything? Did you created time for learning? Ama when you started it ilikuwa tu for fun alafu ikakuwa accepted then uka look at ways of perfecting it? Ama you had like a learning time?
Hakuna time ya kulearn manze. Especially with short form platform, you don't really have to go to school and stuff like that. I did though enroll in like a program where they teach smartphone photography and stuff like that. But I think I learned more on actual videography, like using cameras than using the phone. Nowadays most of my work nafanya kwa simu, and for that I didn't have to, I think, go to school or on YouTube and stuff to learn and stuff like that. Like nikae chini niseme, so for this 1 month nasoma. Okay. I just learn on the go. Nikirealize I want to do this video in this type of way, but sijui vile hii kitu inafanywa. So I'll go learn how to do that thing na nifanye.
And for you now to decide to go for this path, like what affirmation ama what experience ilifanya uka believe now this is my journey na ukai on? Like I know you didn't own it on your first experience. It took time, and earlier maybe it was just for like a lifestyle stuff. When did you own it, and to a point now you're getting money out of it?
Nilianza kuleta do.
Oh, you know affirmation.
That was the affirmation because at the end of the day, what is the goal of everything we're doing? To make money, to live a good life, to live a comfortable life. So as soon as it started paying, I was like, yo, okay, this stuff actually works. And ideally, when I was starting out, my goal wasn't like to monetize it and stuff. Because yes, I'd seen people earning money, living a good life because of, creating content and stuff like that. But for me, I was just creating it because I love it. Actually, on the irony bit is, ilikuwa inani cost do, because I need to shoot, like for example, nataka tu video ya, thank you. Nataka tu video ya nikiwa outside with my friends. Meaning I have to invest tuende sijui pahali. If for tuseme a picnic, we have to buy snacks and stuff like that. Tuko outside, nani atatushoot? Hakuna. So I have to buy a tripod. Na kitu yote hainilipi but na invest. Unacheki, so it was costing me money but ilikuwa actually inanibo. Na enjoy proper. But as soon as it started paying, I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Even too, I think money was the motivation.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That is a good motivation. That is a very noble.
Literally checking some videos, but it's not about the money. No, it's about the money. The money is good. The money is good.
And what is one mistake you've seen many content creators making?
That's one mistake I've seen them creating. I think lack of inconsistency and thinking that all videos have to go viral. Not every video has to go viral, Mazi. Yeah, like kubali 500 views zako na like 2, kubali. Because even the most weird thing is the most serious videos I do, zile zenye nimekaa chini, nime script, nika shoot vizuri, nika edit vizuri, haziendangi viral. Zikipata most views ni 5k, especially on platforms like Instagram. But 5k, but your video ni noma. Hadi kwa wase sema 5k views, I have like 10 comments. Hizo comments wasema hiyo video ni noma. But it doesn't get views. A stupid video I do, like vile umesema siku hizi fun comedy skits I do. Hizo video hata si scriptingi. I shoot them in 20 minutes, edit them in like 5 minutes. Zitapata 300k views. Unacheki? So, not every video has to go viral, but kwanza, just put effort into them, especially hata kama haziendi viral. The quality of your work is what clients will look at. Sometimes it's not about the numbers. Client angetaka numbers, angepost kwa page yake. Because sometimes you're working with a client who has like 100k followers. Si akipost kwa page yake atapata views. So, mbona anakuapproach kama influencer is because anaona the quality of your work and what you're bringing to the table. Sometimes it's not about the numbers, it's about the quality of work you're doing. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that is profound.
That is profound.
You are. You really are. Like, I'm learning a lot and I'm enjoying this. And what do you think, like, what is something about content creators that viewers don't get? Ama it's something that, like, maybe a good example is like you, when there was a time you were a viewer, you've mentioned the one thing in the like, has been running my mind. The one that you said, like, you met a certain guy who taught you how to consume content, not just for entertainment, but like, inakuwa something ni kama kumark your capabilities and stuff. So that is something I experienced that, and lately I've been consuming content in a different way. Imefanya hadi nimekuwa cautious. So for you tena, what is another thing maybe you think that maybe viewers don't get about content creation?
That it's an art again.
Okay.
Kwa sababu unaona tu uko tu kwa hivyo tu kufanya vitu zako. For us it's what you're viewing, that's our office. Like you see me doing a video, sijaifanya, yes, I'm doing it for your entertainment, but at the end of the day, that video is bringing views, is bringing interaction. So meaning a possible client is watching. Na hiyo ndio anaona bede umse akona numbers, so that's why they will work for me. So yeah, that's our work, that's our office. I think that's something people don't know. And sometimes it's overwhelming sometimes to be outside. I think one thing that scares me is being famous, manze. Being famous scares me sometimes, manze. Hey. Cause sometimes people don't understand that. Not a must nikiko nje lazima. Like, again, this is actually something yenye tumeongea nawe before the podcast. Like, I forget the name ulitumia kuisema, but
parasocial relationships.
Parasocial relationships. Like, people already know you, ni vile wajui. Yeah, anajua kinyu unakulanga, how you wear, they know how your house looks like, they know your behavior, wewe ndi wajui. So, they know you, but you do not know them. So, but when you meet them, because hata mimi experienced this well, like I was like a viewer tuseme, najua msima nzi hata to me we actually friends najua
for 10 years
mimi nakuona gona daily then naenda kumgotea kwa niko busy niko boss value mafano wako to value and then now you come to understand yes mimi namuona gona but ya nioni ya nijui na si ati kubaya, it's cause they are working, they are busy, they are maybe exhausted, wametoka gigs, because again, we get exhausted. Sisi, another thing ni, hatunanga tendency ya kwa, client anaanza kukola kuambie, hii kazi ni ya saa 3 usiku, na tumechapa hadi midnight. So you have to be there all the time. So unapata mse kwa street, ujui, ametoka gig, kutoka saa ngapi, because remember, ours is not a 9 to 5, it crosses boundaries. Ulimaliza kazi 5, but mimi nimekuwa past your 5, nilikuwa before 9. When I get so also understanding creators, I think we're not fully understood in terms of we can also get exhausted. Sometimes nikipita tu nikuevie kumbali, si ati I don't value, but you guys are literally the ones who employ us, because ideally your engagement is what gives us brand deals. So my work is to entertain you, my work is to give you knowledge, is to give you information about tech, but also sometimes we do get exhausted, and msi akikupita umwevia kwa sababu it's never hate.
Okay, and how do you normally handle negative feedback, like maybe low engagement, low traction, views, likes?
nowadays ainisumbuangi.
Nijua una ama unajua maybe nijua una.
I can even show you my TikTok right now. I'm actually not messing. So I've done 3 videos since today. Leo ni lini? Leo ni Sunday, yeah. So between Friday and today, I've posted 3 videos. The first one ndio hii hapa hivi. It has 824 views. Unaona, this is the first one I posted. I just posted nilikuwa na haiendi. It's okay. The second nimepost jana, it has 27k views. Hii nimepost leo, it has 8k views. But unaona, if I let here 800 views, ini discourage, singe post hizi zingine mbili. So I also do get views kidogo. But for me it's hii ni flop. On to the next one. Hii imefanya poa. Okay, good. On to the next one. So okay. I don't let high views ziniambie sasa nimefika. But also don't let low views tell me you can't do this. Yeah. Kitambo ndo zilikuwa una post video ni normal. Unapata 20 views kwa hiyo. Yeah.
So like I feel kuna mtu amekuwa motivated akisikia ulipata 20 views.
Okay, sijapata 20 views. I think least nimepata ni like 400
views.
Yeah.
Bado still hiyo umemotivate mtu. Juu kuna mtu like umesema 8k akanyamaza kwanza. Ana feel like ni kama you don't get. So pia kuna aspect ya imposter syndrome. Like I know many people for some reason they feel like they didn't belong. And I feel like Magati on another level. So and I feel like it takes a lot for them to be there. How was it your first time post content? How like ulikuwa like what was the challenge? Were you more confident put ama do you feel like okay, what was your interaction with the negative feedback the first time we post content, and how did it felt like? Juu pia you putting out yourself there inakuja na certain personality that not everyone has. So for you, like we were in the same high school, funny enough. Yeah. So I didn't kikumbuka your personality. You are someone who was out there. So I can't say may come. It's something you've started learning from social media. For me, ni from social media ndo nimeanza put myself out there. So for your case, like you putting yourself out there, where did it come from?
I've been like that since day one. Ile kuzaliwa tu. Again, I love to yap. I love to talk. I don't believe if I'm starting a podcast of my own.
Yeah.
I think I'll get there. So I've loved being in front of the camera. I've loved being behind the camera. I've loved putting my thoughts out there. Unakumbuka tukianza nimekuambia watu wana mistake my confidence sometimes for kiburi. I just love putting my thoughts out there. Like, if you say something and I have a thought about it, I'll say it. If I come and see your shirt looks good, nitakwambia boss, your shirt yako ni poa, nitabai wapi kama hiyo, nitakuchachishia. Unacheki, like I love putting out my opinions out there. And then also my aunt ever told me something, and this I was told during a time ya uni. I did run for Congress and nilianguka manze. Nilifail.
In KU?
In KU, yeah.
Okay.
I ran for Congress. And then I didn't want to run for Congress at that time, but kinsi alikuwa na run hakuwa ananipamba. He was very political, tribal and stuff like that. And then my aunt told me something. I don't know if I'll say it word for word, bar for bars. They told me, but what she said was, if you don't put yourself out there to speak the truth, other people wataambiana a lie, and now people will consume that lie as the truth. So from then on, I decide, no matter what, I'll just put my thoughts out there. I'll put my creativity out there for people to see it. Because if I hide it, haitaonekana. So I've learned to put myself out there. Because I believe I want the world to experience me in all my creativity, in all my dumbness. Because sometimes you say something and they're very stupid. In all my dumbness, in all my small intellect, I want people to get that bit of me. Yeah. About imposter syndrome, I think I have experienced it. And how I experienced it was not in terms of putting out content, is in terms of growth. Because you grow to a point where people want to start learning from you, and they want to pay you to teach them. Okay. And then now you're like, am I worthy to teach people? Am I nawakon? Am I worthy to be an influencer for someone? Am I nawakon? And then you're saying, when you know about kazi yako ni noma, and then like, no, for real, like unaniaminia like that, like I see. So ina come to ujiamini as much as other people nakuaminia. And then now you do something, it works out. You do the second thing, it works out. Now you come to realize it's not luck. You're actually good at it. and then now you start beating the imposter syndrome. It does crop up once in a while, and then you remind yourself, I mean, G. So that works out for you.
Yeah, and you mentioned about something about your aunt kukwambia putting your truth out there. Ushajipata in a situation whereby ulikuwa compromise your values, and how did you handle it?
Compromising my value. Have I ever been put in such a position? I think I've ever been in a space where, first of all, I'm Christian, I'm saved, so I really like when I'm putting out my work, in a show God's, I'm spreading the gospel in one way or the other. Hata kama nikivaa luku niambie nakaa poa, yes, and then you follow my content, and then you realize, oh, this boy goes to church, so it really influences you to come to church. I love that. But now hii space ilikuwa very, what's the best word I can use to describe it? Ilikuwa ina affect my morals in a small way. So yeah, I was there, and at the end I just decided to leave that space. In as much as it was very promising, I just left the space. Yeah.
Okay. So you stood
on the ground. Hata sahi, I think I was talking with a couple of my friends, and swali tuliulizana ni, for example, right now we've started influencing. I get brands here and there. What if I get a partnership with an alcohol company? Will I take it up? What if I get a partnership with a company who has more vices, is not in line with your morals? Will you partner with them? Like, okay, even if they're offering you good money. And then the weirdest thing is, those type of companies are the ones that offer the biggest bucks. Bro, they come with a budget that unaona A-post.
Inakutoa block.
Inakutoa wena gang yote block. Unaweza wekea studio kwa BMOT everybody. So, but at the end of it all, you need to just stand on your ground, because at the end of the day, your morals come above everything. Yeah.
So you will turn down.
I will.
Okay.
Definitely.
That is.
Unataka kujaribu.
Achana kujaribu. Let me talk with John Legend.
No, but I can work with, say, like secular artists, because I also covered, say, Burna Boy came to Africa, to Kenya earlier on last month. So like I covered the event. Sometimes it's a little bit of balance depending, but pia kuna brands zingine nimesema I can't work with them. There's specific things I can't do for my videos, even for views.
Yeah, that is dope.
Yeah.
That is now this is the that is very, very interesting. And for creators block, I know, like any creators, any creative unakonga nayo. For you, how do you normally handle it?
For one, I really don't have a choice but to get over it, because again, this is my job, this is what brings bread to the table. Nikisema niko na creative block, so sitafanya kitu, it means I'm losing out on something. I'm not earning, I'm slacking at my job and something of the sort. But right before I started earning and I wanted to release content, but sina kitu ya kurelease, I think what used to help me was try different things. Go lie down, watch a movie, hang out with friends, talk about what you're going through. Like it's not like it's trauma, but talk about bedeni kwa creative block, manze nataka kufanya kitu, manze ikam. Unapata one of the friends atakwambia bedeni kuna kitu fulani nilikuwa nataka ufanye, ama there's one thing I think you should be doing, or something like this. Your friends are your biggest inspiration, they're your biggest support system, and they will always help you. Because kama mimi niko sure kama sasa hivi nikuje nikwambie bede kuna video fulani nataka kufanya hivi na hivi, mbona nini naweza uwezi nidanganya, unaweza utaniambia ukweli vile iko, kama uniambie boss siwezi wako wewe, acha ujinga wewe, hii ndio kitu unafaa kufanya na hii ndio unafaa kufanya. Ukikuja uniambie insights about how to run a podcast and stuff like this kidogo, I'll obviously tell you. Ukiniambia mimi nataka kufanya nikwambia hapana, fanya hiyo, fanya hivi, unacheki. So also learn to talk with people, talk with your friends, talk with your peers who are also in the same field, and they will help you out.
Okay. Yeah. And nikuulize swali, talking about friends and like it's something that I've observed na ina happen in many areas of success. Like you, like I'll give you an example. Unapata sema hadi the family, your family members, unapata like see ati they're not supportive or anything, lakini wanakona tu like a normal Martin Sambia, unaget, wanakona normal like a normal Martin Sambia, ama okay, na unapatanga sometimes the people unexpect waku support the most, na I really get it. Napata like pia wako na something they're really into. So unapata sometimes they're not into your work, but imanishi they are not supporting you. Unapata wanakusupport in ways maybe the financial support and everything ina fulfill hapo, but as an individual sometimes like sijui niseme aje. I will just give you an example. Kuna a friend of mine who hosted an event, and when he did, it was something big to them, but the way friends show up si the same as family walikuja hadi kama imesha, it wasn't a big thing to them, na ilim bring down. And sijui kama usha experience kitu kama hiyo, like si ati they don't value it, but unapata wana hiyo like ni kama una expect the fact that they are so close, and expect a lot from them more than the strangers. Alafu unapata strangers wana show up more than them. Have you ever experienced that?
Luckily for me, I have not.
You haven't? Okay.
Hey, my friends, my family is very supportive of my work, especially my friends. Yeah, especially my friends, because I don't want to say I don't interact a lot with my family, but they don't really interact with the digital space, which is where my work is. But my friends do, and all my friends really support me. Hey, bro. Hey, on your day ones, like all my different friend groups. Like I'll tell them, for example, even when it's not ideally for me, like I'll tell them, for example, there's this and this event happening, situishie tu, wata show up, unacheki. So my friends really come through in regards to that. But what I can tell people who, like, for example, wanafeel kama their family, their friends don't support them, don't expect them to. This is, what do you know wafanyia at the end of the day, because I also do remember a friend of mine who posted something of the sort, and I remember telling my other friend is, mbona una expect kila mtu yako support? That is not their dream, that's yours. Tell them by the way, niko na, for example, if you're hosting an event, wame niko na event, whether they come or not, that's up to them. That's up to them, but don't expect it. Because hata utapata most of the time when I'm posting content on digital platform, watu hata sijui ndi wata comment, ndi wata share, you know, ndi watakwambia you bro when ni noma. Sometimes it's not even your friends, una get? And that's not meaning that you have fake friends. True. They also have their lives, they're also busy. Sometimes they'll remember, sometimes they forget. Won't. Give them grace, but also as friends, to support yane manze. If you see your friend has posted like something, share it. You get? And me sometimes that content yako si lazima inibambe. Me I'll share it because I know for you it means something. So I'll just share it on my page. I'll share it somewhere. I'll contribute to it. I'll come there. Sometimes say for example, if my friend has an event, hata stand up with duty. Manzi imenibamba. Just go there for my presence. At least one my support, because to them it means something. So I'll go there. Hata kama ni for an hour. Ningie, ni check now, take a picture, post it. They value that. I value that. Mimi ukikam kwa event yangu fanya hivyo. Ama if I tell you to do a video with me, you know, put in effort, umepiga look, umekuja tu ifanye tu your once. Imetosha. So put effort into your friends' work, especially those who are creatives, but also now on the creative side, don't expect too much from people because they also have their lives. Understand that. Unachiki hata vile umeuliza, kuna vitu zenye watu wa understand about us. Hata sisi we also need to understand that about them. For us, that's our work, but they also do have their lives. So don't be, it's not a must for them to support you. Again, sometimes hata content yako inabambi by the way. Nijua ni rafiki yako ameshindwa kukuambia. But give them grace and create your own community on digital spaces. That community is what will elevate and support you.
Yeah, that is the best approach. Well, I'm just loving it. Oh man, that is the best approach. And I'm like, yani, Adi, I feel like you just like your approach is the fact that Adi, when you look at your family, you are aware that wayuko sana kwa the digital space. So I feel like pia everyone out here kuna something like maybe in our hinder. So maybe content yako inaweza kuwa mbaya the way you've said, ama inaweza kuwa embarrassing. Unajua kuna mbaya.
No, not even that. I think mbaya is the wrong word. It's not their cup of tea. So unapata my friends are into fashion or tech, wao into food. This tengenezi food content. Some wonder we interact na content yangu basi. So now they are supporting me basically not in terms of my content interests them, but because I'm their friend.
True. Yeah. So you have like as an individual, you just have to get all those things. Alafu you'll get peace.
But the secret to getting support is create a community. So a community comes with creating consistency. So if I do fashion content today, tomorrow, for a week, for a month, for a year, kuna watu consistently watajua what I offer is fashion content. So they will follow me for fashion content. So that hata they follow me, and then now at the end of the day, mtu atakuja ni ataka nibe then nguo zako ziko ngipoa, kuna watu kaa so wamenifollow na wananiaminia. So that if you are dissing me in the comments, I don't have to diss you back. Other people watakwambia bedhe unaongea matope ni nini, because I've already created a community. Na unapata community hata ni community of strangers we've never met, but they believe in me, they believe in my work.
Yeah, that is dope. And but then have you ever been in a position where you had like a negative comment, and how do you normally handle it?
What's a negative comment I've ever gotten? I think passive aggressive comments, kitu kama hiyo nguo yako ungevata hii green ingekuwa better. Na umsi hata ana post moja kwa feed yake. Mimi nilimwambia tu bebe hauna hata post moja boss. Sasa you are not at a position to tell me about fashion. But I also went back and looked because hey, mbona nilikuwa na reply hivyo? It's a public page. If it's a comment section, they have the freedom to comment. Let them comment. So for me, if it's a negative comment, I'll either one, ignore it, or two, delete it. Because also, the reason I'll ignore those ones they are not vibaya sana. But it's pure hate. I'll delete them, not because inanisumbua, but because it creates a negative aura around your community, around your content. And I don't want that. So I want to be the content I'm creating, the community I'm creating in terms of fashion and tech is very peaceful. So it's the delete out of staki kwe hapo ni out of I don't want that negativity here because msi atakuja amebambika na comment and then kuna comment moja kwa mbona msi ana hate hivi. So it creates that negative aura. So I don't like that negative aura. But if it's a kidogo passive aggressive comment like unakuangaje wewe or I may make a joke about something because I also love me upenda kujibanta hadi mimi like I make jokes about myself like if you're even on the platform I make jokes about me being kissy all the time nitaingilia wa kissy and then wasewa collect si hata wewe ni mkissy I'm like but that's not the point. So I love those kidogo sometimes I also like kidogo negative comments kidogo kusungana tuna watu but handle them in a peaceful way, have fun with them. Mtu akikutusi mwambie asante manzo umenitusi lakini napenda hiyo jacket yako. Unacheki sasa itakuwa like ako like yo
what am I doing? Now like how do you see kuna aspect pia those people like wanna come from a space of insecurity. Okay, like yani so just getting that inakupea pia to a certain piece. Una feel like this is their own reflection. Like unapata kuna those people kama umesema just an example umesema like uli notice hadi ana post in there so unapata maybe this is something they would want to do but wana feel already ni kama industry so wanataka kuwa bring down. And what advice do you have for someone mwenye ana feel so overwhelmed because maybe already kuna high competition, something like a podcast, kuna mtu already asha hit 10 million subscribers, kuna mtu asha hit 5 million na kuna many 100,000 people when you already wako na like a million subscribers. That can be discouraging, but what will you tell someone who feel like overwhelmed by that?
First off, that's their own story. Alisha put in the work. So first off, don't hate on those guys. Asa wali put in the work. Asa walikuwa natengeneza. I remember even I've not confirmed this yet, but a friend of mine told me in KBHD, one of the biggest tech creators and reviewers in the world, his first 100 videos zilikuwa na like 20 to 100k views. Say hapo at a million plus followers and subscribers on YouTube, meaning views ziko over 120 million. But the first 100 videos alikuwa na views. But your time alikuwa na put in the effort. And then ukiona kama sahi if you after this episode is uploaded you'll share the link to people. Sometimes to me ama to you it feels cringe, mbona natumia wazee link manze nini, but for you you've put in the effort. You put in the work, you put in the time, you put in the money, you put in the effort into calling people to come. So as only put in the work for a lot of years, so usi hate on them, wao washa put in the work. So it's so easy for them because washa put in the work 10 years ago. So hata for you put in the work right now. Again also there's something I wanted to say about that but I've forgotten. Repeat the question so that I can see. I can remember.
You can remember, like, for those people who already feel overwhelmed by the high competition in the industry.
I think now also, yes, there's competition, but again, you only need one breakthrough. You will do 100 things, 100 videos, but you only need one video to go viral so that you can be known. Unacheki? Wewe fanya. At some point, it will either itakuja, hiyo breakthrough inaweza kuja hata before you even notice it. Mi yangu hata mimi ilikuja before I even noticed it. I was just doing random things. Iko ala, watu wanaweza kuengage with my content. Watu wanapenda hii and this about me. Ala, umse ako ready kunipatia do ndio I just do a video for them. And it's big money. Because even I remember the first gig nilipata ya nilikuwa nalipwa. I was about to what I was going to ask for was, I think, a quarter of what the person was offering.
Intending to pay.
Hey, nikarealize ala, okay, sawa. So just know it will work out for you as long as you're consistent. You keep on being creative. Emphasis on keep on being creative. Find a creative way to do that video. Be creative than the one you were doing before. And it will work out for you. It will work out for you as long as you're putting in the effort, you're putting the time, and you're consistent. Yes.
And maybe kuna someone who is confusing maybe being patient and unaweza pia kuwa unafanya the wrong thing for a long time.
Yeah. And again, and I think, Aki, if you won't take anything I will tell you today, I'm going to do. Ugoy ameyapa hapa connect your man amesema, and just take this one home. The easiest way to make it as a creator is packaging yourself. Packaging and aligning yourself. Let's give examples. I'm a fashion creator, I'm a tech creator, or a podcaster. I'll follow any podcast. Mimi si follow any tech creator, si follow any fashion creator. I'm not getting insights. That means we're both not getting insights in our niches. How do what's working in our niches? You're not interacting with other podcasters. Nikwambie, the podcast, live event podcast yako ilikuwa noma. So they don't notice you. The big podcasts don't notice you. Mimi, I'm not interacting with big tech creators. I'm not interacting with big fashion creators. So they never notice me. So even if they have a gig, if your people have a gig, hawezi hata extend to you as support. Because hata for you, say, if a bigger podcast wants to approach you, hata kwa approach ati kuje kukua host yao, watakwambia kitu kama, tulirealize kwa podcast yako unafanyanga hiki kitu na ni noma. Unaweza kuja kama utu advise vile tunazifanya kama wewe.
Okay.
Because in as much as hawa wasi wako juu, kuna vitu zingine kidogo. The younger generation ama the new people wanafanya zenye wao wajui. For me, a big fashion influencer anataka collaborate na mimi juu anapenda community yangu. But si follow you fashion creator, si supporting content yake. Hata hizi ni approach, cause hata simfollow. Una get? This tech creator anataka kupartner na yeye nimwambie, "So nitumie gadget yenye uli review hata mimi ni review." Mbona nitumie hata simfollow, support? You get? So packaging yourself and also aligning yourself to what you're going to do. So if I've decided I'm going to do fashion content, I follow all the fashion content creators wenye najua. Wakipost video na comment about something yenye imenipendeza, if it's their watch, if it's their sweater, if it's, if they are promoting a shop, nasema, hata mimi nitaenda hiyo shop huko leo hii weekend. Unajua hata una do na shop ame market ni LC Waikiki. Wewe una hata LC Waikiki ngozi na zia 10k. Unasema I'll go there. So they realize umse yako very consistent. Also, don't spam them atuna comment on everything. Okay. In a book. Just on 1 or 2 videos a week. Ama 1, 2. Evo, say something interesting, something engaging, something funny, so they at least notice you. You come and say, if for example you interact with my creative page, MGT Creatives, maybe the video ni noma. The video shot in ulifanya frame ilikuwa noma. I notice umse ako keen on shots and nini. So that for example when I get to a point where I'm taking up interns, nitakumbuka kuna huyu mse. Even if 100 people apply, no mse apply, nitakumbuka mse anakuanga hapo. So unaona amejipackage vizuri, amejialign. Yeah. And then don't go hopping into different types of content. Kama mimi nimeestablish I'm doing tech, I'm doing fashion, I'm doing lifestyle. Kesho utanipata nikipika Martin.
Okay.
Because cooking content is not for me unless I decide to, of which I am kidogo thinking about it but not yet. Yeah, because again now you confuse your viewers because hawajui wanakuja page yako kuona nini. Because sai mtu akitaka kujua nanzi timu gani mpya imetokea atakuja page yangu. But msaki akitaka kujua what are you talking about, atakuja kwako kwa hiyo podcast, atakuja kwangu. So you become an asset to people. So that's how you package yourself, for people to consume your content and for clients to pick you up. Because people pick you up for engagement, clients pick you up for money. You have to connect these two.
Yeah, that is powerful. Yeah, umeniongelesha pia mimi. Like, I've taken a lot. Yeah. So here we do have a culture whereby
it's going to crazy.
Yeah, see kitu crazy. Like
usiniambie ni chore ama ni dance, hizo ndio na talanta.
You're lucky. So here our last guest anachanga question for the next guest. Yeah, so ajacha ngumu. Her name was Winnie Shiko, and she left this question for you. Number 6.
Jambo Winnie Shiko, let me read your question. What first impression from a person will make you certain in that first instance that you will not be interested in pursuing a connection with them beyond that point? Let me read it again. What first impression from a person will make you certain in that first instance that you will not be interested in pursuing a connection with them beyond that point? Okay. Hey, Shiko, interesting question.
Okay.
So if I meet a person for the first time, what will make me not pursue a connection with them? I think their view in life. I'm a very positive-minded person. I sipenagi negativity in my life. So someone who's very negative in terms of life, who looks down upon themselves, who doesn't look on the positive side of life, who does what? Who glorifies suffering? I think that for me will cut it like easy. That's not for me. Because penangi mtu mwenye believe kama I have to struggle to make it. No, you can make it, well, you know,
without struggling.
As long as you align yourself, as long as you're doing the right things, you're consistent. Consistency is not ideally suffering or struggling. It's putting in the work. So yeah, vitu kama hizo. Cause ideally, an example is someone who akiposta video apate negative comments zinamdestroy. But you're a creator, you've put yourself on a public platform, people will comment vibaya.
True.
Yeah, just learn a way to handle that. So yeah, I think negativity too. Be positive. This life, everybody has it rough, so make your little heaven for yourself. Because if you involve yourself with negative stuff, if you think too much about them, they will also affect you. But if you are very positive minded, I also believe, I'm a Christian, but I'm not a very spiritual person, but I also do believe that if you align yourself with positive things and believe that you will make it, the universe aligns itself to make that happen for you. Yeah.
That is powerful. You are the right. That is powerful, and you are the right guest for this topic, and
thank you.
Imekuwa hitting the nail on the head.
Asante.
And that person that viewer when you join when we were starting, amekuwa satisfied. Najua he's leaving now. So thank you for your never-ending support. You're part of the reason we keep on doing what we are doing. And to find Magati, I will share your links on our description. But Piet, you can shout out again. TikTok, Instagram,
So on all the platforms, if you just search Magati, you'll get me. But on Instagram, it's Magati. On TikTok is Mahat Magati. Yo. Also on Twitter, it's Mahat Magati. I'm not on YouTube. But yeah, my basic platforms are Instagram and TikTok. And now for my creative agency, we're also on TikTok and Instagram as MGT Creatives.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Bye. Thank you so much for having me.
Peace.
Cheers, guys.
Okay.